If you'd asked me what makes me really happy on an e-mountain bike, I would say good grip, good climate, because I come from Wales, good food, but also trails which have been custom made for e-mountain biking, which is why we're here on the coast of the Mediterranean to have a look at what the future holds for e-mountain bike trail development. So Enrico, we've just climbed up a beautiful path. Now it seems to me like it's a walker's path. I mean, have you guys agreed it's a sort of multi-use trail?
It's a multi-use trail, Steve, accepted for hikers and bikes, but just one way up.
Right, and that's really important, isn't it, really?
It is, because, you know, when you climb on a bike, of course you can be faster than a hiker, but you will never reach the same speed as descending. So we can actually share trails, and it's a good way to use trails in combination with other people, respecting each other.
And also, lucky for you guys, it seems like it's solid rock, so I'd imagine the maintenance of this trail isn't too bad, right?
It's not too bad at this one. This is a very old path that used to serve the local community for hay. It's called Sentiero del Fieno. The main maintenance you need to do here is cutting basically the vegetation that grows up quite fastly here on the seaside.
Right, let's carry on and let's get up this mountain, shall we?
For sure.
Enrico Guala is the founder of Enduro Biking. He is the man that brought the sport here to Finale. Enrico, things have changed in the last 13 years. I simply did not think I would ever be stood here with you talking about technical trails in this area, because things have moved on. You know, 13 years ago we pedalled up the roads, we pedalled up the fire tracks, but now we're pedaling up tracks which are 1,000 years old.
And more. And thanks to e-bike, the chance we have now to discover our territory is limitless. And because of this place, this whole region, this whole area has been lived and inhabited for thousands of years. The heritage we have from our story, from our history, are trails that used to be road. So it's enough to find them, clean them, and use them up and down.
Yeah. So Finale it's crazy in Finale now. It is the mountain bike hotspot of Europe, isn't it? But we're now a little further down the road at a different area. Explain to us what's going on in this area.
Well, basically, what we call Finale, it was already beyond the border of Finale. You ride in Calice, you ride in Orco, you ride in Spatorno, you ride in Pietra. So the whole destination is now developing more trails around Finale. We still like to call it the Finale outdoor region, because it's kind of a good name, and Finale is known by everybody. But now, for example, we're here in Pietra Ligure, which is on the other side of Caprazzoppa, which of course everybody knows. And that's where the local community, the local trail builder, the Pietra Ligure outdoor guys, because they are really into e-mountain biking, they started to develop the e-mountain biking type of riding in this area. They build some new trails, they recuperate some old trails, and now there's a few areas in the Pietra Ligure that are suitable for e-mountain biking, different levels as well. Monte Grosso a bit more technical, that's where we do EWS, pro stages and power stages, but we have Ranzi, which is where we're now, which is a bit more mellow for people that want to discover e-mountain biking in a proper way.
Yeah. Enrico, I experienced the EWS race here several weeks ago, but I'm really eager to go and see what else is on offer in these hills. So I think we need to crack on and get up into those olive groves and how you say it? Macchia.
The Macchia Mediterranea.
Right. Enrico, I've got to say, this type of trail to me is the essence of e-mountain biking. I mean, resorts, mountain resorts, they're cool, but to me, they just haven't got something which this kind of area has.
Sure, and I agree with you, but it depends on what you want to have as an experience. For example, I go to Whistler if I want to learn jumping.
You can easily.
And that's about a progression. I think, you go to a place, you challenge yourself, and you progress based on the terrain and on the riding you have there. And when you go home after a week, you are a better rider on that skill. And I think this place could be a place where people can improve and progress their e-bike skills.
Why do you think that is, though? Is it? I think maybe the rock, possibly.
I think it's a mix. The rock, it's pretty dry here,
yeah,
as we all know. So the amount of traction is almost every year long. All year long is quite good. The other thing is the mix of terrain we have and the diversity that this place has. You go from the beaches, up to Melogno, all the way to the rocky and sandy terrain. So you can really have a journey throughout different terrain to learn how to use an e-mountain bike on different soil.
Yeah, for sure. And then you go home and your vibe is up, you feel happy with yourself, and yeah, it's just good, isn't it? Hey, listen, I'm going to keep going up this trail, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, tech. Yeah, so that's tech. Enrico is the master of climbing. Look at that outcrop.
That was pretty intense, huh?
It's still pretty challenging, isn't it?
It is really challenging, but you know what? Today the traction is perfect. These rocks are just good amount of grip, but tire pressure. Look at this.
Enrico's probably got about 10 psi in there.
Really, I just want the best grip up here.
But that's a hard trail. There are actually easier trails here as well, aren't there?
Absolutely. We did most difficult in the Rancy area. Now we're gonna tackle the most kind of flowy one for everybody.
Enrico, we talk about the trails, we talk about the rocks, but it's the whole vibe, isn't it, really? It's the food and everything. Like, as an e-mountain bike experience, it's everything combined, isn't it? It's not, I'm sure there's trails like that in other parts of the world, but you haven't got the food, you haven't got the climate, you haven't got the sea, you haven't got the company and the friendliness of people. It's the whole thing, isn't it, which is important.
It's an experience, Steve. And as we like some kind of trails, the food and as you said, the whole destination makes it for a unique experience. And chatting to people, gelato, pizza, these big icons of Italy. But then we got the local flavors, and you need to know Liguria is really good on vegetables, like fresh vegetables. And most of our local recipes are made with vegetables from the season. So you never eat zucchini in winter.
All right. Didn't know that.
Because you buy it at supermarket, not at a fresh,
Right.
Grocery store. So
Wow.
that's the thing.
Hey, well, cheers, guys. Thanks for showing us the trails today.
Cheers, Stephen.
Cheers, Jacko. So there you go, folks, a really interesting insight into the e-mountain bike access management here in Finale Outdoor Region. We saw that we were using sort of mixed access, sort of shared access use to some of the trails, and I think, it was a fantastic experience. So guys, get yourselves down to Finale Outdoor Region. Remember, there's also many ways now you can actually get your e-bike down here. You can actually rent batteries down here. There's e-bike hire. I mean, the whole system is there ready to go, isn't it?
And there's charging stations at the restaurant, because as we said,
Yeah.
food is important, at least for us, but also for you guys. So while having lunch or dinner, you can recharge at most of the places here. And yes, full of services, full of guides, and we're ready to show you
Yeah.
what's possible on e-bikes.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is that this is setting an example of how e-mountain biking should be in different parts of the world. So thanks for showing us around, Nuko.
Thanks for joining us. See you here.